Okay, what is the Jazz GM smoking? What, like, seriously, what is he thinking here?
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so I came across this video. I have not watched it. Okay, I have not watched it, but man, oh man, what the heck is going on? So Jazz GM Ang demanded Keldon, Devin Vassell, multiple first round. We have to listen to this and see what they have to say here. So this is the Monty show. So let's take a listen. But before we do, please guys, Spurs Invasion, go follow it. Link below in the description box. It is my second channel in which I do scripted and edited content. Please go check out the new-ish video that I put out a couple weeks ago on Jeremy Sohan. Let me know what you think of it. But please, guys, go follow Spurs Invasion. All right, let's take a look here. Hold on, let's bring this up. Turn all the way up. All right, the Monty Show. Hit us up.
Jazz, because I think this is something that people are all fired up about. Talked to a guy yesterday who said the Utah Jazz have a quote-unquote ridiculous asking price for Lauri Markanen. And I think that is, in my opinion, why they don't have a direction. And I think this is a huge problem for the Jazz right now. I think the best Jazz beat writer by far is a gentleman named Tony Jones, who writes for The Athletic. He said yesterday on a local Utah radio station, ESPN 700, that Lauri Markanen prefers to stay in Utah and will not sign a contract until August 7th to make sure he stays in Utah this year.
They're so screwed. I do not understand why the life of me they didn't just go ahead and try to make a deal happen. I have no idea the life of me. I thought even the Warriors package was decent, and then they asked too much there. And then for the Spurs, for you to even think that we would give you anything other than like Keldon and a few picks, I don't know where your mind is at that point.
And after talking to some people, once I heard that from Tony, I reached out to some people who said, for instance, that they asked San Antonio for Johnson and for Vassell and for multiple first-round picks. And then you hear the confirmations of the stories that we've talked about on this show and reported that Podziemski and Kuminga were the starting point, not even the top.
Oh my
not even
God.
the finishing.
Oh my God.
That the Jazz didn't want Jonathan Kuminga. If they were going to make a Markkanen trade with Golden State, that it was going to have to include Podziemski and multiple first-round picks. So the asking price is quote-unquote ridiculous, according to my sources. And I don't understand what the Utah Jazz are doing here, and I want to.
And let me say this, because there's been a lot of Spurs fans that were like actually debating whether or not they would get rid of Sohan. Not many people saying Devin Vassell or Sohan. I'm telling you this right now. As far as what's on the table right now, who's available right now, there's basically no players that I would give up Sohan or Vassell for right now. I don't think anything really makes sense. And that's me talking about guys that are available, right? Like obviously in any hypothetical, I could sit here and say, oh yeah, I would trade Jeremy Sohan for Luka Doncic. I would trade Vassell for Luka Doncic. Like obviously, okay, I'm not crazy. But there's no one that's available right now that I would get rid of either one of those guys. It makes no sense timeline wise, potential wise. Even right now, what they bring to the team doesn't make sense. The chemistry that they've already developed throughout the season with Wemby. I know a lot of people kind of shut off by mid-season because they were like, okay, this is too hard to watch. This is too much losing, and they just kind of watched some Wemby highlights and whatnot. But they actually, as a team, came together pretty well in the last month of basketball. Like they looked like a legitimate team that you can build upon coming into this upcoming season. So there's nobody I would get rid of Devin Vassell or Sohan. Their talent levels is just too high, and also they just have too much potential for me to even make a move right now with guys that are available. That is, but yeah, I don't know what the Jazz are on.
Tony Jones also said yesterday on ESPN 700 in Salt Lake that they're working toward Cooper Flag. So let me see if I understand this. You're going to have Markkanen, John Collins, Jordan Clarkson, and Colin Sexton on this team.
And you're going after Flag?
And are you just not going to play them?
Like what?
Because if you are working towards Cooper Flagg, which I think is 100% the right decision, if you are working towards Cooper Flagg, are you telling me that to get to Cooper Flagg, you're going to play your veterans? You're not going to play your veterans. So
All you going to do is just make them irritated.
So let me get this right then. You're not going to play your veterans. You're going to pay Lauri Markanen by renegotiating and extending his contract, not being able to trade him this coming season because the 6-month moratorium after he signs that deal. You're going to make the exact same mistake you made with Jordan Clarkson, who now has little to no trade value.
My God.
Your only real active trade avenue here is Colin Sexton.
And how old is Lauri? Lauri Markanen is 27, right? Lauri Markanen age. Yeah, he's 27. He's 27 years old. Are we serious? Are they seriously doing this? So dumb. So insane.
And now you're going to try and sell me a bill of goods that you are moving towards Cooper Flagg.
They just
That's
want everything.
just not common sense in the NBA. If the plan is Cooper Flagg, you can't have Lauri Markanen on this team because you're going to pay him not to play. Because, again, as I told you 3 weeks ago, sources with the Jazz told us this is a youth movement. They are playing the young guys. End of story. No conversation to be had. They are playing the young guys. And just to be clear, again, I want to reiterate exactly what we've reported. They have multiple offers on the table. They do not want Jonathan Kuminga. And Keldon Johnson is not a guy from San Antonio that they believe can be the centerpiece of a deal. They've asked about a Johnson-Vassell swap, where at least intimated that's the starting point.
There's no reality in which that happens. I don't know why they thought the Spurs would go for that.
And I think that's the starting point, for the biggest reason being that gets them out of John Collins' contract. If you look at the numbers, it is very easy to see the Jazz making a Lauri, John Collins, other guy deal for Vassell and other guys on that roster, draft picks and pick swaps. That's a deal in San Antonio that could absolutely be made if the Jazz were going to make that deal. And I also want to be very clear. I have not been told by, and I have a really good source inside the Jazz, a really good source who's been really accurate. I have never been told by my source at the Jazz that they are absolutely keeping Lauri.
Oh my God.
I have not been told that. I've been told they're going to play the young guys. I have been told that they are not married to one side of Lauri Markanen or the other, which means, hey, we'll trade him. Hey, we'll keep him. I think they would be thrilled to keep him, but I think they'd be just as thrilled to trade him.
His value is just going to continue to decrease. Now, I understand that a lot of people here, we'll bring up his stats here. I know that a lot of fans wanted Lauri Markanen, but I think it's time for us to finally let this one go. The Jazz just have been ridiculous throughout this entire process. The fact that we sat here and we said we'll give you Keldon and a few other picks because that's what we saw. That's the articles we saw. And now they also want Devin Vassell, and that's crazy. That's absolutely insane. And I'm not going to sit here and diminish the impact that Lauri Markanen has, right? Like there's no debating this. He's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league, especially at his size. He is a decent defender. He's an okay defender. Okay, he's not the best in the world for that size, but yeah, he can put up points on the board, and undoubtedly, okay, he will be what the Spurs needed out of Zach Collins, which we're gonna wait. We still gotta sit back and wait and see what comes out of the Zach Collins situation, because we know that he's been working on his 3-point shot, and we really needed him to just focus in on that and just be a stretch big for Wemby and just help the team out in that regard. And he's been very open and adamant that, yeah, that's what I'm going to work on. That's what I'm looking at. That's my role coming into the season. So not to say he's going to get the 40% from 3. All right, I do not believe that. But hopefully it's a respectable margin and we're not, just holding our breath every time, he's open for a 3 this upcoming season. But look, he does fit. Lauri Markanen fits. I'm not one that's like really worried about his age, only the fact that whatever the Jazz are doing and they still want to get rid of him, but they also want to tank. I don't know what's going to happen there. But he would fit with us. He would work with us. But at the same time, I don't think it's worth giving up Devin Vassell. Okay, I just don't. Not to say Lauri Markanen isn't a player that's rare. I'm not sitting here and acting like you can just get him at any draft. But as far as what Vassell brings, as far as what Jeremy Sohan brings, and at their age and the amount of potential that they have, I definitely think that you will hold on to those guys. And in the position that the Jazz are in, and with them wanting to just tank, I am confused on why they wouldn't take multiple picks in Keldon. But I mean, even the Warriors deal seemed even better than ours. So I have no idea where their minds are at. But hey, to each his own. But I'll be real with you guys. If it means I have to give up Devin Vassell or Sohan, which they didn't say it in this one, but we did see some other ones where they might have been wanting Sohan as well. If I have to get rid of either one of those guys, I'm not making the deal. I don't think it's worth it. They're just too young, got too much potential, nowhere near their primes. I just, and for what they are and for what they bring to the team, I think that we'll get more utility in the long haul than trying to, clear out our roster and bring in Lauri Markanen. And also, we want Cooper Flag, right? So that would be even better, right? I want me a flag, so that would be cool. But we'll see what happens. But man, I have no idea. This is just completely went off the rails as far as what they're asking for. But big shout out to Spurs Reporter for posting this. Let's see. There's quite a few comments on here. You see what some of the I'm assuming Spurs fans around here. What do they have to say? F no, Lauri isn't better than Vassell. Let's see here. No, Big Bone doesn't agree with that. Let's see. I would without Vassell and multiple picks. I do one or some seconds, but what are the other players? Also, yeah, the multiple picks as well. I think I would do multiple picks, but I don't think I would have did anything from 2025. And if I did, it would have been the Charlotte Hornets pick. Maybe the Bulls pick, because I'm not even sure that's going to convey anymore. Nice to have for the Spurs. Just don't overpay them. That's too much for players who only been to one All-Star game. I thought Aang was supposed to be good at this. Even without this report, Utah clearly played their hand. He's known for this, though. He's known for asking for way too much. This is hilarious. It's one thing if we didn't have Wemby and needed to make this trade for a cornerstone, but that's not the case. We already have Wemby, so there's no pressure to make this awful trade. Now, if they want Cooper, Jazz should make a fair offer for our picks. That is true. And also, I agree with that. We're not at that stage yet. We will be in that stage. Like in the next few years, we'll be at that stage where we can just start like, okay, we're good enough, but we just need one more, right? We just need one more piece. We need one more player, something like that, and we'll be fine. But no, we are not at that point right now, so I'm not worried about it at all. But yeah, anyways, that's all we really got here. Oh, and guys, let me know if you made it this far in the video. Let me know what you think of this setup a little bit. I changed the colors around. I kind of like it. I'm not going to be honest. Like have the purple and blue in the back and then the natural light in the front. No, girl. My cat's trying to jump up here. But yeah, I think it looks cool. But let me know what you think. Just wanted to change it up. I think it makes the camera pick it up a little bit better too. But anyways, I'll give it to you guys later, man. Until next time. Bye. Bye-bye.